Good morning, students. Our today's topic is limitations of planning. In our last class, we learnt about what is planning, what are the features of planning, and what is the importance of planning. We came to know that planning, it is considered as the first function of management, because without planning the other functions cannot be performed. So each and every manager has to plan, and once the plans are laid down, automatically it is believed that successful plans, if made, can lead to successful achievement of objectives. If plans are not properly made, then it becomes difficult to achieve the organizational goals. But to draw proper plans and to see that it is successfully implemented in the organization, it is seen that all the plans doesn't lead to success, because there are certain difficulties which are associated with the plans, and that is why the plans have certain limitations. And we are going to highlight those limitations of planning today to understand that why it happens that sometimes the plans are made in the organization, then too the plans do not lead to success. So we are going to talk on that aspect today, and that is what is part of limitations of planning, or it may sometimes also be said to be difficulties associated with planning. Difficulties of planning. Now the first limitation is planning leads to rigidity. This word. We have learned one aspect, that plans, they are generally drawn up keeping in mind a certain time frame. And once planning is done, there is prediction of the future about what all changes may happen in the future, and according to that the goals are set and plans are drawn up to achieve those goals. So future is predicted, certain time of unseen future that is visualized in advance, and according to that the work has to be performed. That is why planning is done. And once the plan is done, it becomes very difficult for the managers to change those plans, because the course of action, that is, always it is said that once the plans are drawn up, plans once are made, it is made for a certain period, and according to that the course of action is also determined, what all things have to be done, how it has to be done, where it has to be done, who is to do it. All those things are also determined along with the plans. And if the changes happen, then it becomes very difficult for the managers to adapt to those changes within that time period, and that change is required, as a result of which plans may turn out to be unsuccessful because of its rigidity. So this is the first limitation, because plans basically, they are rigid in nature. They have been drawn up for a certain period of time, and the course of action that has been decided for that period of time, and within that period, if the changes occur in the organization, the environmental changes occur and organizations have to adapt to those changes, it becomes very difficult to cope up with those changes, as a result of which plans doesn't turn out to be successful. And the reason behind that is its rigid nature. Second point says plans may not work in a dynamic environment. When we talk about environment earlier, we have learned that environment includes so many factors. Environmental factors may be in the form of social, economic, legal, political, technological. These factors, they operate in the environment, and changes occur in these factors. If the changes are very frequent, then it becomes very difficult to visualize the changes or predict the changes, as a result of which plans fail, as a result of which it becomes very difficult to predict what may happen in the future, because planning is related with thinking in advance what happens in the future. And if these changes which occurs in the environment are so dynamic that every now and then frequent changes occur in the environment, sometimes social, sometimes legal, sometimes political, then it becomes very difficult to predict about the future, as a result of which plans may not work in that kind of environment, although it is said that prediction has to be done. So in that case it becomes very difficult to predict, because the future is so uncertain and so many changes are occurring very frequently. Now planning reduces creativity, or sometimes it is also said that it reduces initiative. Now we have learned earlier also that plans, once they are drawn up, automatically we see that the second phase is those plans have to be implemented. And when we talk in terms of organization, it is seen that top management working in the organization, it plans for the entire organization. And once top management plans for the entire organization, very limited is left for middle management and lower level management to plan. Their work is only to implement whatever is planned by top level. So middle level and lower level management, it knows very well that whatever has been decided by the top level in terms of the course of action which has to be taken down to achieve the goals, that has to be followed by middle level management and lower level management, as a result of which the initiative in them dies, because the only thing left for them is to just follow up or implement whatever is set to them to do. They cannot use their own initiative, they cannot use their own creativity in order to make up those plans and add to its goodwill, as a result of which we see that it kills the creativity of many people who are working at lower level positions in the organization, as a result of which sometimes it turns out to be monotonous. Sometimes we see that much of the initiative which is required for better planning, that is lost. People stop giving suggestions, and these things, it makes to an extent plans futile also sometimes. Planning involves huge cost. Now planning is a process which is a thinking process, and when we say it is a thinking process, always plans have to be made in such a manner that whatever plans are made, it is made in a scientific way. That means while logically analyzing the facts, doing all the calculations related with the cost and the benefit, the plans have to be made. As a result of which, sometimes it is observed that plans, once there is need for so much mental exercise in it, which involves so many specialists, which involves so many board meetings, which involves so many suggestions to be taken before drawing up the plan. Sometimes it takes so much, it involves so much cost and time in it. As a result of which, the benefit which the organization should get from these plans doesn't come up, because the benefit which comes up later is always less than the cost involved. The costs have risen to that much extent that the benefit which would come from drawing up and implementing those plans doesn't fulfill the requirements of the organization in terms of profit, as a result of which it turns out to be failure. So always it has to be kept in mind that plans, they involve huge cost, and those plans cannot come without cost, and costs may be estimated in terms of the expenses and also in terms of the time taken to draw plans and to implement those plans. Also incidental charges, which I told you, sometimes because planning is a thinking process, and while thinking about drawing up a good plan, it sometimes require so many discussions, panel discussions, board meetings, suggestions, then calling the specialists, taking their advice, and all these things lead to increase in the incidental, so much increase in the incidental charges that finally the benefit which comes out of that plan is certainly less than the cost of the plans, as a result of which it doesn't turn out to be a good option, and that is why it is said that it involves huge cost. Then planning is a time consuming process, because in planning, first of all, plans have to be drawn, which requires time, and then plans have to be implemented. So always it has to be kept in mind that implementation of plans require more time than drawing of plans. If the plans have to be drawn up and it is taking so much time that there is very less time in the implementation of those plans, automatically it becomes a limitation of planning. So this has to be kept in mind. Sometimes this also happens, as a result of which we say it is a time consuming process. Finally, plans does not guarantee success. In the introduction of this part only, I told you that it's not necessary that plans, if they are made in the organization, then it is going to guarantee success. Why? Because there are basically three reasons for it. The first reason is there is mismatch between drawing plans and implementing plans. Mismatch. Why I say this? Because drawing of the plan takes more time than implementing plans, as a result of which plans doesn't turn out to be successful. Second, sometimes it happens that previously tried and successfully implemented plans they are followed blindly in the organization. It is not necessary that once the plans earlier has been successful, it is going to be successful every time. But the managers feel that yes, this plan had led to success previously, that is why it will come out to be successful, or it is going to give successful results every time. That misconception in their mind leads to the failure, because always it is said that plans once made have to be made keeping in mind the environmental factors, and environmental factors are dynamic factors which keeps on changing. If previously tested plans, successful tested plans are also implemented, it is necessary that it has to be understood, it has to be drawn up keeping in mind the environmental factors of that time, and then if it is properly drawn up then and implemented, then we can see that to some extent it will lead to success. If blindly following it, not analyzing the environmental factors, then it cannot guarantee success as it has been successful earlier. So this you may say false sense of insecurity or complacency that the plan has previously tested to be successful will always lead out to be successful is generally false. That is why we see that in an organization sometimes these are the situations as a result of which the plans don't give good results, or they are not successful in the organizations. They don't turn out to be useful for the managers in the organization. So always the plans have to be made keeping in mind the environmental factors. It has to be kept in such a way that according to the changes taking place, the managers are in a situation to be flexible and adapt to those changes, so that they are readily in a position to cope up with the dynamism associated and turn out to be successful. Otherwise, we see that plans, because of these limitations, doesn't give successful results. So these were some of the limitations. In the end, I am going to just write a statement. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It is for the managers. If you are failing in planning properly, that means you are planning for your failure in the organization. So with this portion is complete. We have talked about features, we have talked about importance, we have talked about disadvantages or difficulties or limitations of planning, as a result of which plans sometimes don't give successful results. Next, we will be talking about types of plans and also the planning process. Till then, thank you. Take care, all of you.